What's up you guys, welcome back to another Despwns review. So today I'll be reviewing Destiny, which came out for the PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, and Xbox One in September of 2014. So before I go into this review, just know it's going to be a very biased review because of just how much hype this game had leading up to it, and then just how much I felt like the game didn't deliver. Not to mention, I have a lot to fucking say about this game, so you'll probably be here for a while. You might want to get some popcorn and fucking prop your feet up, because you will be here for a while. Or you can just leave and not watch the video, but don't do that or I'll kill you. Wow, that was really aggressive. But anyways, in Destiny you play as what is called a Guardian, which is basically a defender of the Earth, or more specifically of this thing in the Earth called the Traveler, which basically allowed people of Earth to travel through space and terraform other planets. Your character, who was dead for a long time, is actually revived by what is called a Ghost, which is basically an artificial intelligence drone that is directly linked to the Traveler.
I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time.
In the game, you try to fend off the darkness, which is basically a combined culmination of 4 different races who want to use the Traveler and corrupt it and do nasty shit with it. Nasty. And while this sounds like a decent story, it's basically just like any other story that you've ever heard in your entire life, like light versus dark. It's literally even called The Darkness. Like, how unoriginal can you get? And then to make matters worse, you have all this awesome pretense as to what the game's gonna be and all this awesome story, and then they give you zero explanation as to what the fuck you're doing, how you got there. There's literally a scene where you're talking to this guy and he's like,
I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago. How the Traveler was crippled. I could tell you of the power of the darkness.
I could tell you about everything that happened and all this interesting storyline, but nah, I'll go somewhere else. I'm not needed.
no, please fucking tell me. I want to know. And not only that, but the storytelling of Destiny is just abysmal. It's so fucking bad. I've heard better story progression from a 70s porn movie. Not that I watch that many 70s porn movies, but you know. And you know, you assume because of the awesome Peter fucking Dinklage, the guy who plays Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, the story is gonna be interesting, but no, it's like he's the only reason you even fucking want to play this story, is just to hear his voice and have him pronounce things weird. Which is fun, because like you're sitting there and you're like,
Well, you lead the way.
oh, that was funny. He said that funny. But that's it. You're not like interested in the story at all. You just want to hear him fucking say things. So it's just really frustrating because basically they're just like, yo dude, here's a gun, go shoot shit and stuff, bye. Oh totally, thanks. What do you want me to go shoot? I don't know man, just don't do it here. In the beginning of the game is where you get to customize your character's class and race from 3 different classes and 3 different races of the game to make your guy look exactly how you want him to look. Male or female, robot or albino black person that looks like Electro from Spider-Man 2. Seriously, they look exactly the same. So I mean, if you ever wanted to be Electro from Spider-Man 2, here's your chance. One of the really disappointing things about this game is actually the character creation itself. Because while it's not super basic, it's also not super expansive, so you don't really have a lot of options. So because of that, sometimes you'll walk around in the game and you'll just notice that a ton of people have the same hairstyle as you, the same fucking exact face, and you're sitting there like, oh wow, that's fucking great. Why did I just waste 38 minutes of my life fucking designing this guy when everyone looks the same as you anyways? The 3 classes of the game, being the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock, each have different attributes about them that make playing them a different experience. And the game even goes so far as to make subclasses, which then further customizes how your playstyle affects that certain character. So if you're a Hunter and you like to get up close and personal, you might want to be the Blade Dancer subclass, because all they do is fucking go up and run and slice people's assholes. Or if you like just sitting back in the shadows and using your gun, then that fits the playstyle of the Gunslinger Hunter. And while this variation in the game is much needed, I almost feel like the game would be like 30 times better if you had more subclasses and even more classes. You sort of just feel limited to the amount of awesome stuff that your character could do and what your character looks like, and a lot of the times you find yourself just wanting more variation. The gameplay of Destiny is primarily a first-person shooter taking on huge aliens and hordes of little bitches in a first-person view. Interestingly though, the game also tries to be an RPG, taking into some small account the damage meters and crit damage that you can do with your guns, being able to physically see the health meters on enemies. So as a result of the game trying to be an RPG, there's also a leveling system that works exactly like how a typical RPG might work, with the level cap being 20. The game then allows you to collect light armor, which if you have enough of actually increases your overall level as well up to 30. But one of the downsides about this light armor system is that a lot of the game at that point then becomes just getting light armor and just how well geared you are rather than how skilled you are at the game. Even from very early in the game, you're often getting fucked over because of how nasty strong some enemies are and just how shitty your gear is, and them often being able to just one-shot you. Not fun. In some areas though, you are in third-person view, like when you're driving on your little Sparrow, or at the base of operations called the Tower, which is basically where you collect bounties and weapons to gear up for future quests, etc. I was actually very disappointed when I found out that this game actually was a first-person shooter. Personally, I'm just so fucking sick of first-person shooters. Like, fuck. I just sort of wish they would have done something different that just really shook the mold of modern gaming and took it in a different direction that isn't just a fucking reticle in the middle of your screen that you follow around the entire game and just shoot shit through. It's so fucking monotonous, it's so boring, it's been overdone 1,000 million fucking times at this point, and honestly I'm just so fucking sick of it. So in that regard, I was really disappointed because I felt like the game had so much more potential to be something really breakthrough and just different. But nope, just a first-person shooter, woohoo! In a lot of ways, this game aspires to be an MMO, taking a lot of things from World of Warcraft, with a lot of things seeming to be ripped from a typical MMO like World of Warcraft and just shoved in Destiny. The rarity of the guns, for example, range from uncommon or green items, rare or blue items, legendary or purple items, and exotic or orange items. Pretty much an exact copy of the World of Warcraft rarity system. In addition, you have similar currency systems that are often employed in MMOs, having you earn Vanguard or PVE marks in order to get certain PVE gear by doing what are called strikes in this game, which is basically the exact same as World of Warcraft's instances, where you group up with a team of people and take down a really huge nasty boss. And of course the PvP or Crucible marks in this game to achieve certain PvP gear and items, etc. The PvE of Destiny is so fucking monotonous and repetitive and boring that you'll find yourself just doing the same fucking shit over and over again just to get the kind of gear that you want. Even collecting bounties from the tower is a recycled list of the same bounties you do day after day. Get 100 headshots, melee 30 enemies, kill this guy, kill that guy, fist a goat, fist a mountain goat, fist... Okay, I'm done. None of the shit that you do in PvE is new and exciting, and a lot of the times you'll find yourself just wanting the PvE experience just not to be so repetitive and fucking boring. Luckily, the player versus player aspect of the game very much makes up for the horrendously lacking PvE, with different game modes and maps so that no two PvP experiences are really the same. The game does a really great job of not making a huge difference between level 2s who maybe just started into the PvP experience and the level 30s who maybe have done the PvP experience since the fucking beginning of time, meaning an assault rifle at level 2 does pretty much the exact same amount of damage as an assault rifle at level 30. However, each gun in Destiny does have upgradable aspects to it, ranging from upgrading the gun's damage or rate of fire to really nasty, insane upgrades like lowering the recoil or charge rate of certain guns, or making the gun pierce multiple enemies as it's being shot or split into several bullets. And it's these upgradable features of certain weapons that make the PvP experience not really that fair. One of the awesome things about this game is just how many different worlds there are and just how many settings you get to actually explore. So while you start off on Earth, you eventually get to explore the Moon, Mars, Venus, and each one of them looks completely different and unique from the last planet you visited. And I love this because you feel like you're not doing just the same missions over and over again, and you actually feel like, you know, oh, this is a new chapter with completely new enemies in completely different areas. I'm not fucking, you know, stuck here blowing off the same dick skins of the same dregs over and over again. And what I'll say about the enemies of Destiny is I both love and hate them with a burning passion. On one hand, there's 4 different main enemies in the game that all have their different bosses and peons and such. You have the Fallen, the Hive, the Vex, and the Cabal, who all for some reason really fucking hate you. I don't know what I fucking did to them, but you know, I guess they just hate me. Secretly, all the Guardians stole the cookies from all the other races. That's what it was. That's secretly what it is, because I mean, we don't know the fucking story. Could have been, right? And one of the cool parts about the enemies is that sometimes you'll actually see them fighting each other until they see you, and then they decide to team up on you because fuck Guardians, right? And the different enemies of this game are definitely needed, because without them you would just be stuck grinding the same fucking enemies over and over again, and the game would just be terrible. Terrible. So this sort of allows you in some slight way to feel like you're not just monotonously killing the same enemies over and over again, even if in reality you actually are. Every once in a while, Destiny has patches and updates to the game which give you unique opportunities to get exclusive gear that you really couldn't get anywhere else. One of these reoccurring events is this dude named Exur. Okay. Anyways, Exur shows up only on the weekends that you are then able to buy exotic weapons and armor that you could usually only get from him. One of the most amazing things about Destiny, however, is just its amazing soundtrack. And I know no one fucking gives a shit about sound in games, but seriously, I feel like sound is almost the most important thing in games a lot of the time, because it's really what makes a performance alive and come to life in a game. So from the sound effects to the music of this game, the whole sound design of Destiny is absolutely fucking amazing. The music just complements every stage that you're in, and your guns don't always make the traditional pew pew kind of gun sounds, and oftentimes make really fucking rank ass sounds that make you say, oh no, dude! Overall, the sounds of this game is a definite reason to play this game just as loud as you possibly can, even if you have parents that'll get really pissed off at you and ground you for several weeks, and just do it anyways. You have my permission. One of the things that everyone can agree about Destiny on is just how amazing the graphics look. Super sexual lighting effects will make your nipples hard and your genitals erect because of just how sexual the lighting is. No, just me? Okay. While this game was the first game I actually ever played on the PS4, I was really blown away at just how sharp and crystal clear everything was, and just how visually pleasing every new area seemed to be. The downside of this, though, is the reason that I've dubbed this game a new title, Loading Screen 2, the sequel to Loading Screen 1, known as Skyrim. Seriously, the worst fucking loading screens. So whenever you needed to go to the tower, you'd have to go to orbit, which takes like 15 seconds from whatever planet you're on. Then you have to set your destination to the tower. Then you have to wait another 20 or 30 seconds to get there, even if all you needed to do was pick up some fucking ammo. So when you want to go back to the planet you were on because you ran out of ammo or some shit, then you have to do the fucking process all over again. Go to orbit. Set the destination, wait 40 more seconds. So it becomes really frustrating at times, because you're like, wow, 1 hour's gone by and I've only done one mission because of all these fucking loading screens. Fuck! Another terrible thing about this game is that every mission starts off in the same area. So let's say you have a mission on Earth and you need to be way over here. They still start you way the fuck over here, and you just have to drive all the way up there for like no reason. It just makes it so fucking boring to see the same sites over and over again repetitively. And sadly, even some of the missions make you go through the same fucking area, and the only difference is you go right on a corridor instead of left. You're fighting the same fucking enemies you fought a billion times in this fucker, and the only difference is that you go left. Probably one of the worst sins that, about this game is just how much they limited the story. At the end of the game, you're just sitting there like, wait, that was it? This is some bullshit. Because seriously, you feel like you're just now getting into it, and then nope, you're done. Okay, great. And it's just like the biggest tease of your life. Like, imagine your crush, okay? And like he or she is just standing over you all seductively and just is about to, you know, touch your downstairs, and then they get up, they go to your fridge, they steal one of your yogurts, and they walk out your door. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck, man? And why'd you steal my yogurt? This makes no sense! This is exactly what this game does, and it leaves you thinking like, oh, there has to be more. And there is. New subclasses, new planets, more story. But guess fucking what? You have to pay more money to get it all. I feel like originally there was all this extra stuff included in the original game, and then they were just giant fuckheads and were like, oh, never mind, you've got to
buy the expansion. Let me count all the money I'm making.
Where do you get off? I need that $30 to $40, okay? I have kids to feed. I mean, not really, but you know, I could. Overall, Destiny had a fuckload of hype, being a game that people talked about and speculated on for 6 years while the masterminds at Bungie made it. And after 6 years, the game, for me, failed to meet up to that hype and, you know, my personal expectations. Is it a terrible game? No, not at all. The entire thing is playable, addicting, and fun from start to basically finish. But could it have been better? Yes. It is for this reason that I give Destiny a 7.0 out of 10 and a stamp that says, fuck you for making me buy the expansion. I actually just realized I don't think I've ever been this mad at a review ever, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. Seriously though, man. Fuck. Anyways though, if you have a suggestion of a game that you want me to review, leave that in the comments down below and I'll make sure to check all of those out. Until then guys, this has been a Despwns review and I will see you later.